So, why do I have the swimming pool at the luxury King David Hotel in Jerusalem as a back screen? Let's read and find out. Chapter 1, number 3, the Entrance Mikveh. Blue signs that read Mayim Chayim, water of life, beckoned us, and we soon entered a huge waiting area with plenty of seating and lockers that accommodate several hundred people at a time. Come get dunked, proclaimed the sticker on the bag of a teenager next to me, picturing priests with diving gear and frog feet wading into the Jordan, carrying the ark as in Joshua's time. It refers to the entrance mikveh, a baptism on entering the Holy Land, a symbolic ceremony directly associated with the restoration of Israel as described in Ezekiel 36 and Leviticus 15. The mikveh, also called mikvah, now serves as a symbolic purification act on entering the Promised Land, just as the baptism of faith is done to share in the death and resurrection of Yeshua. We placed our belongings into one of the keyless lockers and proceeded to the ablution facilities. Along the walls are huge inscriptions to remind arriving passengers of why they have to undergo this procedure. The now famous words of Ezekiel 36. For I will take you from among the nations and gather you out of all lands, and will gather you into your own land. And I will sprinkle clean waters on you, and you shall be clean. I will cleanse you from all your filthiness and from your idols. I will give you a new heart, and I will put a new spirit within you. I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. And you shall dwell in the land that I gave your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. Further down the broad passage, just before a checkpoint diverts the men to the right and the women to the left, was a Job 31 reminder for men on abstention from lust and the required monthly celibacy for married couples. There was also a portrait of King David when he saw Bathsheba bathing after her monthly days of impurity. With the picture came two quotes from the time before the rabbis took control of the pool. It happened one evening that David arose from his bed and walked on the roof of the palace. And from the roof he saw a woman bathing, for she was cleansed from her impurity. So David arose from the ground, washed and anointed himself, and changed his clothes. And he went into the house of Jehovah and worshipped. At the checkpoint we were issued with towels, body wash and shampoo. As I came to doors separating men from boys and from fathers with baby boys, I read on the walls the now well-known verses of Hosea. Wash yourselves, make yourselves clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do good. Seek justice. Rebuke the oppressor. Defend the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Come now, and let us reason together, says Jehovah. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. At last I entered the giant shower area for men, where a humid cloud of steam rose above the noise of running water. The scent of pine aerosol and the drone of men's voices filled the air. As I made my way past a rows of shower cubicles to find an open one, I wondered if the architect of these practical facilities perhaps knew what a change house in the South African gold mines used to look like years ago, because it accommodated hundreds of baskets for our clothes that are pulled meters high into the air. The major difference to typical public shower facilities is that there is now no display of nakedness. Men definitely don't shower together, not here nor elsewhere. This sensitivity towards the flesh originates from the time Noah cursed his son Ham, following the first post-flood incident of sin, when the son disrespected his intoxicated father where Noah was exposed in his tent. Having finished showering, I quickly dried myself and got into a large baptism frock of thin blue cotton and draped myself in a huge towel. Leaving my clothes and glasses in the basket, I almost bumped into a fellow pilgrim on my way out and followed him to the mikveh proper. Mikveh was like a cattle dip, with hundreds of new arrivals completing this process every hour. It looked much like a mid-sized indoor swimming pool, where clouds of steam whirled about, mixed with soft melodies and whispered prayer. Based on the principle of Solomon's sea at the first temple, these special mikveh pools on Israel's borders are replenished once a week with water from the river of life. We approached the pool from the east side, and I selected the 7th of the 12 queues, each striped line being demarcated by stainless steel balustrades. We dumped our bathrobes on benches along the wall and waded down the steps into the pool. The lukewarm water soon reached our waists, where there's a short drop in the floor and one plunges forward to submerge oneself completely before finding shallow water again. I kept my eyes open in the sweet blue water and I stayed under for about 5 seconds. In the silence, the blurred movement of other men was visible. In my thoughts, I simply said, Toda Abba, thank you Melech Olam, thank you my King. It reminded me of our baptism of faith long ago in a small church in Potchefstroom, a town west of Johannesburg. It was that special. For those believers who were fortunate enough to have traveled to the land prior to the last war, this would have reminded some of being baptized near Jericho or at the Yardenit in the north near the Lake of Kinneret in Galilee. This was just much, much better and made one feel having truly entered the promised land. Not wanting to scare the baliniot on duty, I got my footing back and emerged again, tasting the sweet water on my lips. I got out on the west side, wiped the water from my brow, and walked around the pool where I got my towel and returned to the shower area.